Using groups to find your ideal prospect.
Well, welcome to another episode. We're going to learn even more about LinkedIn with our LinkedIn expert, Hannah. So we're talking about groups today. Hannah, tell me a little bit about what we're going to talk about in this episode for people.
Sure, absolutely. So today we're going to talk a little bit about getting warm leads and building a relationship with your ideal prospects. And really using groups, you can do so many things with them, including, learning more about your industry and everything. But actually, it's a gold mine because you can use the search function in there to find exactly who you want to build a warm relationship with and actually maybe turn into a prospect. And you can message anybody within your groups. So that's
excellent.
Really
well, I'm looking forward to it because I learned a lot in previous episodes with you, Hannah, so I'm ready to roll up my sleeves here. But let's break it down for people. Give me the top 3 bullet points we're going to cover today.
Sure. So today we're going to talk about using search in groups to find members that will actually be your target demographic.
Okay.
We're also going to talk about how you can then go ahead and message them within groups without going through the usual hoops. And then we're going to talk a little bit more strategically about how we can then develop them into prospects by using the tagging features and developing a campaign.
Well, clearly I'm going to learn a lot because I don't even know what half these things are. So I'm really looking forward to this, Hannah. So let's start with the top bullet point here. So we're talking about using the search function in groups to find members that fit prospect demographics. Fill me in, please.
Yes. So what you want to do is say there's a specific type of group. When you join a group, okay, mm-hmm. Not only do you want to join an industry group or, a group that, maybe the same types of people that you would network with are in, you also really want to think strategically about, well, where is it that my prospect would be looking to join to find out information? Okay, so that's what you want to think about when you're joining groups. Okay, it's not just about you and your associations and whatever. You want to really think about where are my ideal prospects. Okay, right. So you join some of those groups, and then once you join those groups and you're accepted, what you want to do is you want to go into the search members. Okay, which is right at the top of a group. So if you click on the group and you're a member of it, you can see at the very top it'll say search members. You click on that.
Okay.
And a little box will pop up. And that's when you can actually put in either the name, if you know the name of someone specifically that you'd like to connect with, or because maybe you found that through your advanced search function that we talked about before, or if you're looking for someone with a specific title. So say you always, you always use, marketing managers are who you typically would talk to. So you type in marketing managers, and all the people within that group will come up that have that title.
Okay.
So then you can just message them and just say, hey, John, realize that, we're both here in this group. I noticed that blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is that you want to say, make sure you pay attention to who they are and some interesting things. Read their profile first.
Be social. It is social media after all, right?
Be social, right. And just say, hey, I noticed that, we're both interested in hiking, or, we both work in this industry. Love to connect with like-minded people. Would love to connect with you. Right. Okay? And you just send that message, would you like to connect? Simple. Most likely, most people will connect with you, okay?
Mm-hmm. Right, because they're doing the same thing. That's why they're in the group, is to connect with other people, and
Exactly. And you can actually see that member's activity also within the group. So say they've recently commented or had a really interesting insight, that's another great thing that you can put in that message. Say I loved your thoughts on blah 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 blah. Would love to discuss further, or whatever it is.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
So join the groups, and then you learn to use this search function within the groups to really figure out some information, gives you some ammunition, gives you some background on people to know what to connect around. Sounds great. And then you're talking about messaging them, which is kind of our next sort of step that we're talking about here. What is it that is in the group function that allows me to message people in the group that's different than any other kind of messaging on LinkedIn?
Sure. So there's a couple different ways that you can message people. Number one, when you start a discussion in your group, okay, everyone gets a digest of that group, okay,
Right.
typically. Most people have that as their default settings. So when you do that, you're put in front of all these people that they get an email in their inbox that says, hey, there's this new discussion in this group. Okay, so that kind of helps to position you as an interactive person who's interested in, helping fellow members and all that other stuff, and also has some thought leadership. Okay, so that's one way. The other way is that typically when I want to connect to somebody, I have to say, like, I know them through, this person, or you need to ask for an introduction, or you need to do all this stuff. Okay.
Right.
And you only have a certain amount of invitations that you can actually use, that LinkedIn will allow you to use. So this way, you can actually message anyone within the group, as long, and again, you don't want to message them in a salesy way. You just want to have a very conversational,
connect around some common ground, yeah.
Exactly. And you can connect to them and build up your network.
So just to make sure I'm clear, because I'm not sure I've done this very often, so if I'm in a group with somebody where we share a group but I'm not directly connected to them, they're not a first level connection,
right,
I can directly message them because we're in a group together.
Exactly.
Okay.
Otherwise, you cannot do that at all.
Right. I'd have to first find my way to make a first level connection with them, and then, gotcha. But because we share a group, there's a way to do that. Excellent. Okay, very good.
And plus it gives you that commonality, like that common ground right off the bat, so you're not emailing them cold.
It's the virtual equivalent of we actually went to a physical networking event, or a group meeting, and we're in the room together. So we don't really know each other, but we share the room and we're there for a common purpose. Therefore, we've got a conversation starter right off the bat.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Excellent. Very good. And now you're getting into real voodoo ninja magic stuff here that doesn't mean much to me. So talk to me about connections using tags, and you're talking about developing a drip campaign. I have no idea. Well, I know what a drip, but I don't know how to do this in LinkedIn, so please enlighten me.
Okay, so if you go to your connections, so like at the top of your profile, there's an area that says, connections, and you can actually go in, and it's like a little database almost, okay?
Yeah.
And you can actually, when you click on that connection, you can actually tag them. With a tag that only you will see, okay? So say I have decided that I now want to target marketing managers again within the advertising space, okay?
Okay.
And then anytime I want to connect with somebody and I tag them with that tag, when I decide to create a message, like maybe I'm having like a webinar or something like that, okay, I can actually just go ahead and click on that tag and write an email or a message, and send it to all of those people.
Oh, wow. See, I had no idea. See, I never understood what the use of the tagging was, other than just if I wanted to sort my list, but I didn't realize you could then pull up a tag and send a message to just the people you've tagged with that parameter.
You can, and
Very
you just
cool.
want to make sure when you do that you uncheck at the very end. There's like a little box. You want to make sure you uncheck that because you want to make sure that people can't see everyone else, their stuff. Okay, so you want to make sure you do that. But otherwise, it's a great way to send some information out. But what I always will tell people is that, you don't want to just send that initial, hey, I'm having a webinar. Hey, just connected with you. Now I'm having a webinar.
Right, now I'm going to spam you.
Yeah, let me jump on top of you. So you just want to kind of develop a little bit of a drip campaign where, again, those marketing managers or, whatever it is, you keep a spreadsheet to see like who you've actually maybe recently added and stuff like that, so you're not sending the type of thing, but the same type of thing. But what you want to make sure is you just kind of maybe have like 3 or 4 messages where like, hey, so great to connect, really looking forward to staying in contact here with you. By the way, a lot of people have some questions. Here's something to my white paper. Hope it's helpful. Enjoy your day. Okay, right. So like maybe that's like something that you can do. Okay, then maybe the next one you would say, something else, whatever it is that you want to do. But again, here's something helpful. would love to, oh, there's an interesting discussion in this group that I saw, would love to get your feedback about it, come and jump on the discussion. So again, you're like building that relationship. You're kind of like asking them to, reciprocate, like, and build something with you. Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe then you say, hey, we've been, talking a little bit here. I'd love to grab a cup of coffee. I think LinkedIn's great, but there's nothing like an actual conversation or, a face-to-face or, whatever. I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. Would you like to, set aside 15 minutes to chat about, so I can learn a little bit more about your business and see if there's anyone I can help connect you to.
Excellent. This is incredibly helpful stuff, Hannah. I mean, I got to tell you, every time we talk, I realize how ineffectively I'm using LinkedIn because I'm not using all these cool features. One more technical question for you, though, about this last thing, if you know. So you're talking about using the tags and being able to pull that tag up and say, does it really work like a database? Like if I've tagged marketing managers, but then I've also tagged the people that are in the Philadelphia area, can I double tag in the sense, can I pull up the people that I've tagged that are just the marketing managers in the Philadelphia area and then send that message like you're saying?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure. Now I haven't done it, but I think yes, you can put that in there, and I think that will.
I'll have to try it. We'll report back. But I mean, that's cool.
Yes.
But the ability. I am because I'm trying to learn, and so now I'm gonna.
I keep things very streamlined because otherwise I'm like, wait.
Yeah, but listen, this is so cool. I mean, I've learned so much here because I didn't even know that these tags could be used that way. So I think that's excellent. So as we wrap things up here, because we don't want to go too long here, but because we've been talking about the power of groups, and I've just joined groups just to be able to chat within the group, and you've just given me a ton of great information here. So we've covered three main things here. We've talked about using that search function within the groups. In a previous episode we talked about advanced search in general, but here now within the group you can use advanced search to kind of pull up the ideal people that you're looking to connect with. Then we talked about how to connect with them, so that just being in the group you can use the direct connect even though you're not first level connections. And then we talked about using tags and tagging people in your database, because then you can create these targeted campaigns to a bunch of people in your groups that all share that tag that you've given them, and they don't even know because you're organizing people around these parameters that are important to you. So great stuff, Hannah. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put some of these things to work, and we're going to come back at folks with another episode real soon so that they can keep learning these great, powerful tips about LinkedIn. So connect with Hannah. We're going to put your information up on screen in just a second here, Hannah, but appreciate your time. I got a lot out of it. I know other people will too.
Great. Thanks so much, Mark.